Okay, guys, so as a summary here, we're now going to look at the dashboards and the analytics. So we're again going back to where is this data coming from, and the reason why we've sort of got this integrated system is because once we have everything working together and your chatters uploading their data here and the team checking the sales, this will then come together and allow us to present the data in basically whatever way we want. Now, we've put together some interfaces here and some dashboards, which you've seen sneak peeks of, and we're going to go into now. But it's important to note that these are bespoke analytics. So if you guys, especially it's going to come from some experienced guys, if you guys have got special requests or want to see something a certain way, just let us know and we can go ahead and build it. So just remembering that, if we look at the creator section here, what is the fee for the agency? This is what the creator and the agency have made as an agreement, you guys and the creator. That feeds into the interfaces to allow us to tell us what the what amount of money every day you're making net of the chatters and net of the creator. So there's a lot of sort of CRMs out there that people might be using that will give you some sort of analytics on chatter sales. But because this is a highly integrated system, you can really go down into much deeper levels. So if you wanted to, you could even link in here what your cash balance on your bank account was to be able to show you what you need to be paying out to your chatters, what you're going to get paid in from the creators, and how much money you're going to have on a daily basis. So that's something that you can keep going deeper and deeper. And again, something we're here to help you with. So bearing in mind that agency fee number that comes into it, the amount of chatters in the team here, who's getting paid what, and then you've got your team schedules, which also take into account salaries, chatter sales. So the numbers that are uploaded here from the chatters and their forms, the details here will be used in the interfaces, and then also the custom content, what's pending, will also be brought into the interface, which is here. So this is something that I suggest you guys play around with a little bit. Again, there's lots of YouTube videos explaining how to use the dashboards. A lot of it is drag and drop, plug and play. So if you want to have a chart, you can go to the chart here, and then you can just drop your chart wherever you want. And then you can say, where do you want the source to look up? Chatter sales. And then I want it to look up on the x-axis. Let's say we're looking up, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Team. And then we want it to show the total gross income sum per team, per team member. And there you go. So you can then filter on the specific records like dates. You can have as many of these as you want. So super powerful piece of kit. So we're going to delete that so not to mess this up. So if we look at the sales dashboard, some of the there's not data up to today or yesterday. So the last 28 days, there's data showing, which is helpful at least. But once you start using this will automatically update. So nothing for you to do. What we've got here is just a small chart. We can put pie charts in, we have line charts, whatever. It's easy visual data for you guys to be able to see, look at your numbers. Let's have a quick look at how this is working. And then again, you can then manipulate this how you like. So gross sales, so you've got chatter sales is the source table. It's then saying we want to present a certain number. So look up gross income and look up the sum of the gross income column that's in chatter sales, but only do it if for chatter sales where the date is today. And so this one here is doing almost the same thing, but rather than looking up gross income, it's looking up net income. Here, we're then seeing what the agency fee is, and then what the agency fee net of chatters is. And so super powerful. And then all we're doing on these ones is we're changing the specific record to look up yesterday. So it's exactly the same data, exactly the same setup, just the timing's different. So this one is looking up, is within the past week, so last 7 days. And then this one is within the last 28 days. I haven't clicked on it. Bear with me. There we go, the past 28 days. So there's, like I say, looking up data from here where we've just been working, and it's then just presenting it in an easy way, easy to use manner. And then look at creator summary. So again, there's no data for today or yesterday, but if we go down to last 28 days, this is a bar chart looking up chatter sales again, filtering on or showing the creator, and then what is the net income earned, the sum of the net income. And then we're filtering on specific records, which is the last 28 days. And so here we're looking at what are the net sales per creator, and then what is the net sales net of the agency fee. So because the creators have different fees and you agree different percentages with different creators, here it's important to know that, while creator 4 earned the third most money, but not for you, it was actually the fourth most profitable creator fee, because the agreement that you have is less. And it will be like, this will be a 60% to the creator and 40% to you, whatever it shows in the data in the team section. So really useful to see. And again, this is just visual stuff to see where you're going. And then this is net sales broken down per day and who's making the most money. You see the different creators, colors reference here. Then chatter summary, same thing. The data is only going back 28 days, but when you start using it, again, it will show. So this shows the chatters, who's performing best, how they're selling their PPV, like the average price of it, and how many sales they're making. Now, again, the important thing here is if you were to use a CRM and they were to show you, let's say you've got chatters scheduled on one of your CRMs because there's a bunch out there, and the chatters and it spits out data saying the chatters made this amount of money, you have no way to check that. And so, we estimate around about plus or minus 10%. There's always errors in the chatters' submission of their numbers, and the CRMs have never been able to produce clean data. And so we check the data against what the chatters say, and then it will then be shown here because every day the admin staff will go through and make sure that's correct. So it's like a double layer of security here. And then, so we've got a number of sales made per chatter. So again, going back to what I mentioned in one of the earlier videos, chatter 2, you need to just increase the quantity of PPV you're pushing out. All right, chatter 4, your prices are too low, you need to increase them. This is dummy data, so the numbers will be much more divergent on what you see, I would imagine, because it's not this clean normally. The numbers are much different. And if you can tell a chatter, look, everything's going well, you just need to push more PPV, again, this simple sort of analytics will allow you to really improve your return on investment. Then we've got chatter dashboard. So this is just sort of a template dashboard. Again, you can just see it's looking up chatter sales, net income, and it's looking up chatter 1 over the past week, past 7 days. So again, just explore this to understand what's going on. And it shows us last 7 days versus last 28 days. You can change this, you can manipulate this. You can change this to last 8 days. And then here you'll go in and you just change specific records to the past 8 days, and then the numbers will change. All right, we want to keep it as past week. And we're going to change this back, but just to give you an example of how it works. And then we compare our chatters against each other here. So it's really easy to see who's done the most customs and who's slipping on their PPV. Sometimes we've got some partner agencies here running these. They've got individual chatter dashboards, which I'll show you here. And they ball out on all of the analytics per chatters because they really care about the individual performance. So it all depends on your agency's strategy overall. But this we find really useful to be able to just check against each other, and then you can just duplicate this and then drag it, and you can then just say chatter 4, and then I'll just do this one as well. So then you go down chatter 4, and then here to make sure it's looking up chatter 4, you say the team is exactly chatter 4. And that's how easy it is to create this stuff. As long as you want to use what's already been used before. If you're starting from scratch, then it can be a little bit more complex. Have I made that? Yeah, that does look right. Last 7 days, and I'm going to put this number in here, net sales, but I'm going to change it from chatter 3 to chatter 4. There we go. And then you could do the rest for it as well, but it's exactly the same process. And again, you can get really quirky with some of this stuff, and it's very helpful when you've got a big team. If you've got a team of 20 chatters, chances are you're just looking at what are the sales made yesterday. a lot of people are looking at, we need to have more subs, we need to have better chatting quality, but you're not, a lot of the time, agencies are not actually digging into, well, who's actually just not performing. And you'd be so surprised at how this bottom 50% of chatters, if you've got 20 chatters, you don't know which, you barely know them by name, because everything's moving so fast. So your bottom 10 chatters could just be hiding, and you just don't really know, because you might have 3 or 2 working on any day. And so they kind of just get mixed together. And so you can do it by shift here. You could see by morning shift, by evening shift. You can do all sorts of analytics. So rather than trying to put pressure on your creator to do an extra 2 TikToks, just look at your chatting team, see who's underperforming and why. And then if you can increase them, the bottom 10%, by 20% or 50%, you're basically increasing. If you do your bottom 10% chatters increase by 50% of the performance, you're increasing your numbers from 100,000 a month to 120,000 a month, or from 10,000 a month to 12 to 13,000 a month. Those are big numbers over a couple of month period as well. Then we got the schedules. So this is a really easy view to be able to look on your schedules. We spoke about this in the schedule module. So you can filter here by who they are, team member or the group, because you group up your creators, because you might have more than one running on a group. And then if the data was here, but we don't have data, it would just show you in a list who's working. So really powerful, easy view to say who's working today and who's working tomorrow. Again, you've got 20 chatters. You're not going to want to organize this shit in a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group to say who's working. They have this output, as I've shown in a previous video, and you have this output. All you have to do is go back into data and move a few schedules on a graph. It's incredibly easy to manipulate. Another thing, if you're running CRMs where they have schedules, they're very difficult to move. They're not very easy to use, and you don't have a very nice output for the chatter. And so we find this to be incredibly helpful. Tomorrow as well, all this is doing is it's filtering on tomorrow. So only show specific conditions if the shift start date is tomorrow, and then it'll just show you a list of people. Customs, we've gone through in quite a lot of detail already. And then chatter one. So this is something that we do for our chatters, because they're uploading their sales in a form style. They can't check their sales. And so what we do here is we prepare this output, and you can then share this one page with a read only. And then you can create a new link here, and they will only see this. And this is filtering on chatter one past week. So they can see all of their sales the last week in a table format. So really, really helpful for them to be able to cross-check what they're submitting. And if they make a mistake, they can then flag it. So you've got to make sure if you make any changes that you have to hit publish, and then it will take you to a much nicer view without all of the edit numbers. Again, big picture as an agency, if you're starting to make over $50,000 a month, this is where you want to be every day, checking, seeing what's happening, seeing what's going wrong. It's going to be very difficult for you to really see what's actually happening in your agency. If you've got 5 creators, let's say that 5 creators doing 10 to 20K a month, how are you going to really dive in to see which chatter's doing well, which creator's doing well? What's the impact here? So again, big picture, we're here to be able to support you. We want the community to thrive under each other. And so if somebody in the group has got a suggestion, let us know. We can then go and build it, and everybody can benefit from it. And we can just roll out these updates. It's super easy to do. Or I can just do a tutorial like this and show you how to build the request that you guys are making. So hopefully you find this useful, and you share your thoughts on improvements, essentially.